Hey everyone, RompSteel here, back with another tournament game. It's been a little while. Obviously there's 3 weeks in between the matchup, and I think me and Franatelli got ours done a little bit early, so yeah, that's why it's been a while. So here we are, me versus PrincePhocs. I haven't played him in a while, but I've played him a few times though. He's pretty good, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. As per usual, I picked Free Peoples first because. Like I said in the chat, might as well get it over with. You might have heard me say it before. I'm quite a cynic about how balanced it actually is. I know the stats don't agree with me. The stats say it's a lot closer to 50-50, but to me, it feels more like in favor of Shadow than that to me anyway. Okay, so I say Free Peoples are okay. He puts in one eye, an entirely reasonable decision. So these are both good rolls for both of us. So I pass first. He gets Saruman to war. I do the usual movements. He does also fairly standard movements. Pretty. That's definitely signaling the I'm going for Woodland Realm and Lorien play, but that's one of the best plays for sure. So I move and I'm safe. Nothing too remarkable. Definitely carrying on the Woodland Realm and Lorien play. I move again because. Obviously want to move, and I'm safe again. So that's a little more surprising anyway. Like 2 at 6, it's not that likely you'll get hit. 2 at 5, though, it's 5 out of 9 odds you get hit anyway. So he carries along. Yeah, he continues to shuffle armies down. So I muster the elves down here, which I think makes sense when it feels like they're going for both of them. But of course, there's a chance if you don't roll too many more musters, you might just be helping him get the Witch King early. And then, of course, you get Saruman into play. Saruman starts in Lorien and decides to walk down, dies, and guard where he belongs. But he just wanted to be up for a bit, I say. Okay. So turn 2, he gets Cruel Weather already. Warm Storm until interesting. I forgot to look at his dice. I guess he didn't have any Palantirs or characters. Because after the Free People moves once, you'd probably want to play Warm Restore and Toil then, so that if I do move again and kill Gandalf, then you get that... get to discard one of my cards. But I get to kill Gandalf, so that's fair. Shadow Lengthens, that's always nice. Swarm of Bats. Yeah, good cards for him. My cards are okay. Like Through a Day and a Night, decent combat card. Guards the Citadel might be useful, but I'm not that excited about it because like I said, it feels like he's going that way and he's going that way. So if you're going for Woodland Realm and Lorien, it's not that important to reinforce Ministreth. Ensign Smingle helps. Nice master. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so he has to put in one eye and rolls no more eyes. And I get this roll, which I'm pretty happy to see. Turn 2, I think it's very rare that on turn 2, I don't want to see 3 characters in a Will of the West. That's what I almost always want to see turn 2. Because oftentimes I haven't killed Gandalf yet, and usually they've brought in Saruman by the end of turn 1. So if this Palantir were a character die, that would be the perfect role for me. But I'm still quite happy with this. So now he plays Warm Sword and Toil, which makes perfect sense because obviously I'm about to try to kill Gandalf. I pass because these armies are out here, and if I'm going to get revealed into Moria, I'd rather wait and let him move first. Also, you never know. Maybe he's thinking about playing some nasty card with that character die, so I don't want to be revealed for that either. He keeps chugging along with his armies. I move the Fellowship. I'm safe. He continues chugging along. I move. I'm safe. And he continues chugging along. And I spend a ring to move a third time here because I didn't get hit to kill Gandalf, and I have this Will of the West here, so to me that feels worth it to spend a ring to, 50-50 odds whether I get hit or not, and then most likely I get at least 1 hit point of damage. So I think that makes sense anyway. And he hits me and gets an eye. So there's an interesting. Do you take the 1 R? Because now that an eye is out of there, it's now there's 5 tiles in there that won't kill Gandalf. There's 4 that do the same amount of damage, and then there's 6 that do more. So mathematically speaking, the brain part of me was saying this is a game of risks. So that would make sense to take that hit. But on the other hand, this is my 5th step in the game, and I'm just getting hit for the first time now. So I'm a little less worried about corruption and more worried about speed. And I have this Will of the West right here, so I really wouldn't want to, um, what do you call it? I really wouldn't want to not get Gandalf right now anyway. So he draws a more, and it's a 0R, so I'm very, very glad that I killed Gandalf there. So he attacks Old Forest Road. I could play Confusion here, but he has that strategy card, so it's probably Swarm of Bats. So I think, I might as well save that for, because this guy's probably going to die anyway, so I might as well save that for getting a hit later. And it is Swarm of Bats, and he kills me. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with myself for not playing Confusion there. Okay, so I get Gandalf, and he musters the Southrons one step closer to war. So, always interesting what you do with Worn with Sorrow and Toil. A way I like to play it that I feel like I haven't heard other people play. Most people try to just eject character cards out of their hand as fast as they can, which is a valid way to do it. But the other way that I like to do it is if I have an important one I want to keep. Fortunately, I don't have Mithril Coat, or there's another way, like one of the ones you want to save for late game. Fortunately, I don't have that in hand right now. But if I did, I would, and if you don't have extra Palantirs or whatever to play these cards, then sometimes I almost try to keep worthless character cards. Like say I had Grey Company and House of the Stewards. I might be tempted actually to throw out a half decent strategy card just to keep them as a buffer, something to take the hit for me, so I could save a card like that for later. So that's what I like to do. Feel free to let me know if I'm crazy. So this is amazing for me anyway. 4 character dice into just the 1 eye, so it's a good turn for the Fellowship, just yeeting out of here. The downside is, though, like how I mustered the elves a while ago, and I didn't have any spare musters last time to muster them down more. And this time I only have the 1. So if I muster them down 1, then they're just going to attack me twice. And if I don't muster, he's just going to attack me twice and get them under siege. So it turns out I actually didn't make his life any more difficult. I actually just made it easier for him to get the Witch King. So that's that downside that I mentioned earlier anyway. So he attacks Lothlorien, which makes sense. So it's a good question. Should I have played Celeborn's Galadrim here first or not? I decided to wait here specifically because he's probably going to put Woodland Realm under siege first. Because if he attacks Lothlorien first, then the elves are at war and he'd be letting me muster 1 in Woodland Realm. So I don't think he's going to do that. So I don't think I need to play Celeborn's right now. So I move first instead in case he gets a little corruption hungry and wants to move an orc to sit on top of me. He draws a card, which I think makes sense. Maybe you could have played Shadows or Shelob. Getting good combat cards to play is important too, though. I move again, hit this time. So that's a little bit sad. That was 1 in 3. I've still had good luck on the whole here. And I debate for a while about taking a random. I don't really want to lose either of these cards, but it's not the end of the world either. In the end, I decided to take the Corruption just because the Fellowship's in such fantastic health so far that I really just don't want to risk losing Strider. I really want to be able to keep running with Strider right now. So he draws another card. Interesting. Maybe he might have just really wanted. Oh yeah. So here's what he really wanted: Corsairs. That's why he did these 2 draws. At least I think. Anyway, that's my guess. Yeah, because then he could have played Corsairs with this one and attacked and had decent odds of finishing off Dol Amroth in 1 turn, and the elves aren't at war yet. So if I did have Kieran's ships, yeah, that would have been clutch for him if he'd managed to pull that off. I think that's pretty smart. The downside is now he's at 6 cards. But I guess he has 2 musters, so maybe he could play like both of these if he wanted to. Okay, yeah, so now he attacked Woodland Realm, and now the question still remains, should I play Celeborn's here? I still hold off on it because I think he's going to bring in the Witch King first before he does attack either spot. So then I'll get to see which one he's planning on attacking first. And he brings in the Witch King there, which I think makes sense because that is... if I'm about to play Celeborn or Thranduil, you'd rather take personally anyway, I'd rather take out Woodland Realm first. Because if the Woodland Realm army gets stronger and it weakens my army attacking it, I'm still planning on using this army for Dale and Erebor afterwards. Whereas this one, if it gets a little more damage, that's okay. It can just sit there till the end of the game. So I agree with that anyway. That's what I would do. And also the plus side to me not doing that is that now I have the option of hiding with Strider's ability and moving again, because now I'm pretty confident he's not going to attack Lothlorien right now. So now he attacks Woodland Realm, and now I use the confusion because, I'm not, like, Woodland Realm is not going to survive, but I'd like to make that army weaker for when it gets to Erebor. So he rolls A1, and that's enough. He asks done because I was waiting for a reroll because I forgot he played Great Host. But yeah, that's 3 hits for sure. So I do 2 hits back with that confusion. So that's obviously I would have liked Woodland Realm to last longer, but that's not an unreasonable turn of events anyway. I move again and I'm safe. So the Fellowship is definitely lucky on the whole with how safe they've been. And now he plays New Powers Rising. Always a good card. Okay. And now, like I mentioned before, there's another way. One of the last cards that you want to pick up while you have a bunch of companions and War with Sword and Toil out. But at this point, given the fact that I'm 2 steps away from Mordor, like because I have 1 movement on the track already, I'm kind of thinking I'm probably not actually going to get down to Gollum this game. Like there's a good chance that's just not going to happen. Anyway, so he gets those and he throws out Lidless Eye. I think that makes sense. Interesting. I'm just realizing that he used Many Kings to the Service of Mordor as a combat card, which isn't unreasonable, but I really like playing that one anyway. If both these armies are still here, then that neatly brings it up to 10 units. So that's my preference anyway. But okay, so I declare, just to make sure cards like Cruel Weather aren't as easily playable. So that's the roll. I'm pretty bummed about only getting 1 movement. I might still make it to Mordor. If I move once, then I can use a ring to move a second time. But if he has Cruel Weather, then I'm cooked, which he does. So we'll see how that goes. So now I play Celeborn because, there's an argument to be made that maybe I should have waited for him to move leadership over and then played it. Because now that he knows it's there, he knows it's not going to get any stronger. So he can leave his leadership there and go get Erebor first. But the problem is sometimes if they play something like Ring Racer Abroad or Black Captain Commands, then they get to swing over and attack in 1. And if the cards go well enough, then Lothlorien might be dead or significantly weakened before I get a chance to play it. So that's why I did that anyway. And of course, now I pick up Thran Wheels. Classic showing up the next turn, So he attacks Dale. I don't think any of these cards really make sense. Actually, maybe I should have played There Is Another Way here. If I'm thinking I'm probably not going to get to Gollum, maybe I should have. But oh well. So he plays Fighting Uruk-hai, which I find interesting. Like he has the Stronghold under siege with an Isengard, So I would have been tempted to save it for accelerating that siege, but of course with Celeborn in there, it is fairly strongly defended. So and he gets to cycle this way, so that's something. What else could you have played? Yeah, you wouldn't really want to play Shadows on the Misty Mountains, and that's the only other one you could really play. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he gets my guy, I get 1 hit back. So the North are... Oh, they should be at war now. I forgot to move them. Because the guy in Old Forest Road got killed, so that's 1 step, and then Dale being taken is another 2 steps. So, okay, so he moves into Dale. I move the Dwarf into Erebor. Pretty standard stuff. Yeah, now we remember to put the North down to war. We were playing really fast. Yeah. I'll tell you how long it took afterwards. I don't want to spoil it. But, okay, so Salduran's get to war. He attacks Erebor. I was tempted for a half a second to stay for a field battle just because he only has 1 hit point advantage. But of course, he has leadership and like what am I stalling for? The dwarves aren't at war, so obviously I can't even muster even if I do push him back. So I move, I don't get hit, I'm safe, and he plays Cruel Weather, of course. So that was quite crushing for me because this is only turn 4. Like the odds of him having Cruel Weather already are pretty slim. Yeah, and if he hadn't had Cruel Weather, then I could have moved with the ring, and then I'd be in. So, oh well. That's how the game. Like they're lucky to have moved this fast anyway. So I muster in Carrick here. Because I'm looking at the strength of this army against the army in Erebor, and I think there's a good chance that they're going to be very weak by the time they're finished conquering it. So I'm, I have some ideas of maybe I can muster up more and make trouble for them in Dale or Woodland Realm. Also, because I have Thran Wheels in hand, that means I can put Woodland Realm under siege and then play it to get another elite on the spot while I'm sieging it. In hindsight, I might have been better off mustering Gondor to war. That's a pretty safe investment, but I was worried that he already had Corsairs and that he was just waiting for me to waste my dice mustering down. I'm a little too paranoid about that. This is not the first game where I avoided mustering Gondor down when I really should have, just because I was worried about that. Okay, so he brings the Saldrins up, and he brings these orcs over because he's expecting to need backup in Lorien. And I muster another elite in Carrick, and he plays Shelob's Lair. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, so I pick up 8 cards. Always sad being at 8 cards. So I have to pick 2 to throw out here. I chuck Kindred of Glorfindel, which I think makes sense. Like, this army is just headed away from Rivendell, so it's unlikely it's about to be attacked. And I throw out Guards of the Citadel. Also sad, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it's about to be attacked anyway. So, okay, so I declare again. Yeah, try. It's a little frustrating just because that's where I started last turn. So it's like that feels like he got stuff accomplished and I didn't get anything accomplished. And he's been rolling spectacularly few eyes. I think he's only rolled 1 eye all game. No, 2. He's rolled 2 eyes all game so far, and it's turn 5. So that's something. So I, am afraid of Day Without Dawn, so I use the Will of the West to move first here. I'm safe. So in my head, I'm thinking he could hit me with, like, I know Cruel Weather's gone, so at least that's something. But he might hit me with Nazgul Search or Nazgul Strike. Turns out he didn't have either of those. But anyway, Erebor. I find it interesting that he attacks Erebor first, because this is 6 units and that's 4. So they, add up to 10 together perfectly. So I don't know why you wouldn't move those troops over first. In case you did want to press the attack twice, then you already have your second elite there. Unless you're thinking that you're going to beat Erebor without needing to bring these guys over. But that seems unlikely to me. So, anyway. So he uses Swarm of Bats and I use Daylight. So that makes me very sad. Always sad when your Daylight gets canceled. And, yes, let the witchcraft begin. He rolls 4 6s, like without anything helping his dice. He just gets 4 hits. Just, very sad stuff for the dwarves. So they get 2 hits back, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I guess it does matter because now he's too weak to press the attack right now, but he's still absolutely 10 out of 10 taking Erebor. And now I feel really stupid about mustering these elites because now Erebor is going to die and this army is going to be very strong and I'm not going to be able to do anything with these troops here. Like, maybe I can walk over and make him spend 1 die taking Dale back, but it's pretty useless. Okay, so I play Athelas here because I'm about to move a second time, and I might want to take a random casualty. So I figure I play Athelas first so that it doesn't get taken away from me by Worn with Sore and Toil, or in case I lose Strider. And it's a bummer. I get the full 3 healing on the roll, which is above average, but I only had 2 corruption to heal anyway. Maybe I should have moved first to take more damage, but actually, yeah, I probably should have moved first to take more damage. Oh, well, it is what it is. Okay, so now we've moved more troops into Erebor. Again, we were playing crazy fast. Like, it's not insane that he didn't think to do that. Like, not out of necessity. You know how sometimes you get into rhythm of, like, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. Like we were just playing fast, which I appreciated. I don't know. It feels nice getting games done quickly. So he attacks Erebor, and he uses the Mumakil card, which I think makes sense. You could maybe be planning on using it to bring back up from Moria to Lorien, like if using it as an event card, but you don't have an Oliphant in combat anywhere else. So here's where you can play it anyway. And I guess what else are you going to play? Like, there's 2 Deadly Stripes you could play, but it feels nice to save them too, because those are just brutal. I have this saying in my head. I've had it in my head for months now. Deadly Stripes win games. They just do. Like, they crack open strongholds so quickly. Like, in my opinion, 10 out of 10, the most powerful combat card. Actually, I think that's pretty undebatable. I like the math just proves it, I think. But which is why personally I don't like playing Horde from the East for the event, because 5 regulars is nice, but a Deadly Strife is just more powerful for hurrying up and winning the game. Like, if I really need the troops, I'll play it, and it's definitely the right call sometimes. But anyway, so he plays Mumakil, and he doesn't really need it because he rolls another 2 6s anyway, lol, and they get no hits back. So yeah, I'm very sad about that. So yeah, now I'm on my 2 steps, so I know I'm into Mordor now. And Cruel Weather's already been played, so he might hit me with Nazgul Search or Nazgul Strike, and then I'll get revealed and I'll take some more damage, but that's whatever. I don't care about damage at this point, because the Fellowship's in insanely good health. Like 0 corruption and full companion meat shield minus Gandalf. Like that's absurd. That's really good luck. Which, to be fair, like we were saying, he's rolled almost no eyes, so that's the price you pay for getting a lot of military attacks to set the Fellowship is very safe. But it's lucky for me that I've rolled that many attack movements. Actually, I'm not even above average. I'm +1 character dice, but -1 Will of the West. So, oh well, I don't know what happened here. Okay, so now he attacks Lorien. Right, he moved Nazgul over. And I play Thranduil's here because I've officially given up on plans for retaking Woodland Realm. And he plays Dread and Despair, so that's a bummer for me. That's a pretty poor usage of Valor. But I mean, I was probably just going to chuck this card sooner or later anyway, so oh well. And he just rolls 4 more 6s like it's no big deal. Just, oof. Anyway, so what is this? That's the question I always ask when the luck just feels a little too bananas. Like a 1-3-1 is a pretty strong stronghold. Like I was hoping that was going to make him need backup or at least take more rounds than this. But just, 4 hits, and now I'm down to just 3 regulars, and then like he says, press them. Like obviously he wasn't expecting to be pressing and finishing off Lorien right now either. So he plays Devil Erebor Thank, makes perfect sense. And I play There Is Another Way here. It's tragic using it for heroic death, but now that I'm into Mordor with 6 companions in the way still, like I'm just giving up hope on ever getting to Gollum. So I might as well use it for the combat effect, because now that he has no elites, if I survive this round, it's costing him another whole die. So that's my reasoning there anyway. So he gets 2 hits, and I get 1 hit back. So of course I'd take a hit as leadership with the heroic death. He attacks Lorien again. He uses Desperate Battle. Obviously I can't play either of these cards. And he finishes it off, and I get no hits back. So a very depressing defense of Dew and Lorien. By the end of turn 5, he's on 7 points already. So that doesn't do good. So I mustered Gondor down. I just also moved the dwarves because I know Swede forgot to put them at war, and they're clearly at war now. So he plays Shadows on the Misty Mountains. Interesting. I guess I would have done that too. I don't know. What else are you going to do? Maybe muster more in Orthanc if you're going to go for that. I don't know. I think he's wise to not play Palantir right now because I have nothing too important to do with this die anyway. So there's a chance that I would give him a ring to get it out of the way. So I muster in Rivendell because, again, I'm paranoid about him having Corsairs. I probably shouldn't have been, though. I should have finished mustering Gondor down to war. Anyway, now he plays Palantir. Okay, so he picks up a red tile, Monsters Roused. That always helps. I get Wizard Staff, ooh la la, and Swords and Eriador. Just fantastic card. That's what everyone always wants. Wait, did I just... Oh my goodness, I'm such a cheater. I picked up cards twice and didn't even realize. Well, it's a good thing none of these cards impacted the game very much. Did I draw cards twice? Okay, so that's into last turn. I'm just scrolling through the actions here to check whether I actually did or not. Okay, so there's me drawing 2 cards. Yeah, there's me drawing 2. I drew cards twice. Whoops. Heh. Again, these cards did not... these are all pretty trash cards. That Heroic Death is kind of valuable. The rest of these are all worthless. So it's a good thing they don't impact the game very much. Can you imagine if I'd picked up Mithril Coat and Sting on that second draw and played it, and it had decided the game? Holy moly. Anyway, so I move right away because Day Without Dawn is out there. So it's an I, so it's just 1 R. It's weird taking only 1 damage from an I in Mordor. That felt very unnatural. So he checks another red tile in there, so that doesn't feel good. So here's a question. Should I have deleted the Palantir of Orthanc with my Will of the West here? Because he did have 3 Palantirs. But honestly, at this point, for me, it's just I gotta go. I really gotta get moving here. And with Strider to be able to hide after that dice and only having 2 movement dice, I really just wanted to keep moving. So anyway, I play the Palantir. He plays Hill Trolls. I think what he's doing here is he just really wanted to cycle with the Palantir to get more strategy cards, hoping to get Corsairs. Because if he got Corsairs, then his odds of winning this turn are really good. Then he would just need to get this army to Edoras or this army to Pelargir afterwards, or this army to Pelargir. I move again, another I, 2 R, and I take the Corruption again because partially I'm thinking like I still would like to play this at some point, and I don't want to lose it. And I also really just don't want to lose Strider, and I'm in such good health that, might as well just eat it. Okay, so he's given up on the Corsair's plan. I guess his 3 points are going to be like he's either just going to run all the way to Dol Amroth or he's going for me to strike. One of those two anyway. So now he brings the mouth into play. I think that's another downside to playing fast is if he'd paused for a couple more seconds, maybe he would have played the mouth first, so it could be moving off to battle with that army in South Ithilien. But oh well, things happen. And he's moving leadership around anyway, so it doesn't make much difference. So he brings all the Nazgul down there. So I'm starting to feel a little bit safer about him not winning this turn, because I think he can't. Now, since that army moved off of Umbard, that means he doesn't have Corsairs. So I'm feeling a little more optimistic. Okay, so I do play one of the cards that I cheated into drawing. And he rolls a 6 anyway. I roll 6, do 1 hit back. So now he's at 8 points. So the prudent thing to do might be to muster up Dol Amroth right now, because it's vulnerable and I have 2 musters. But I'm thinking, even if I muster twice, this army with this one for backup, there's very good odds they're going to take it next turn anyway. So I choose to hide, and I've got 2 rings to burn through too. So I'm going to use a ring to move again, is my official plan. So he plays half orcs, and he draws into a character card, because I guess he wants to hopefully get more red tiles in there to stop me next turn. So I use a ring and I move, and it's a 1 reveal. So I'm okay with that. Like the reveal is a bit of a bummer because there's like all these not revealing tiles in there, but I have Strider as the guide still, so it's not that bad. So he attacks Osgiliath. Yeah, from the Witch King, which I find interesting. I guess maybe if he gets all these elites together, that is a force to be reckoned with. Yeah. Yeah, and he's got 2 deadly stripes, so he can press that siege and just absolutely nuke Minas Tirith into the ground. Okay, so I use the other advantageous position. Oh no, this is the one that I got accidentally by cheating here. Okay, so he gets 1 hit, I get 1 hit. That's about fair. Okay, so he leaves those regulars behind to defend it against Dol Amroth, and then is going to bolster this army with that. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. He allocates an eye, rolls, and continues his streak of no eyes, although maybe eyes would have been helpful here. Probably not, though. Like, if he'd wanted to, he could have allocated 6 eyes. But then, of course, he's getting almost nothing done militarily, and then I can take my sweet time. So I think that makes sense. Like, really, all you can do at this point is pray that I don't roll enough movement or that I run into red tiles. So I hide because I want to just run before he can put more red tiles in or whatever. But of course he doesn't. He has 2 character cards, and neither of them are red tiles, of course. So he attacked Minas Tirith because I think he wants to cycle cards. He probably wants to cycle character cards here so that he can try to stop me. I move. It's a 0 reveal, so that's fine. Like, I have Strider as the guide, so I can hide again easily enough. So he uses, he uses one of the Elven rings so that he makes this a P so that he can use the Palantir to draw again. He plays Lure of the Ring. If you get Strider, then I guess there's a chance that if I'd have to either lose him and not get his ability, or take it as corruption. And now I'm up to 7 corruption, and now that's a little sketchier. Like, I'd still be fine. Like, I was thinking to myself before he drew that if he draws Strider, I'm just going to eat the corruption because I'm still in pretty good shape. But it's Pippin, so I'd just rather lose him. We check about whether it triggers Warn of Storm and Toil. It doesn't. And he gets to redraw in his candles, so that's something. I hide again, but yeah, playing candles. Like, you could play candles here, but what am I going to run into that makes that scary? Like, a Shelob 6. Okay, so candles could do 3. Shelob 6, I lose Strider, that's another 3. So I guess that's something that could happen, but that's kind of Stars Align scenario. Okay, yeah, he attacks Minas Tirith again, and he uses Words of Power. Yeah, just cycling, hoping for something to help stall more. He rolls 3 hits. I roll 1 back. Okay, I move it again, and it's still not a red tile, so I win. So it's a 3. So I lose Strider. Doesn't matter, though. Yeah, just crazy fast game. And like I said, I'm so glad that none of those cards, like neither of those cards I accidentally drew, changed the game much at all. Like, yeah, because that would be so sad if like that had been game breaking and just making this video realizing that we needed to replay this game now. Oh, that would be brutal. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, that's the game. Like I said, crazy fast. Just like he rolled tons of sixes. I moved and just didn't get hit at all because he had so many attacks. Yeah, he had -7 on eyes. Oh, only -2 on sixes. I remember looking at it. Oh no, these are swapped. Okay, it's the wrong way around. Okay, yeah, he had +10 on sixes. That's more like it. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Okay, that's me that had -2 on sixes, but that doesn't matter very much. +1 on characters, -2 on wills for me, so that's okay. That's not so bad though, just because I had a Will of the West at the right time to get Gandalf. Like as long as you get that, then rolling not that many Wills of the West is okay. So yeah, that was that game. Your pretty usual sprint that I got lucky and won on. This game is also a real tribute to the power of Strider. I don't know how many times I hid with Strider, but it was a lot. He put in the hours. He's the MVP of this game for sure. But yeah, that's the game. Looking forward to showing you video number 2.